Hello, Go For It Painting, and hello to everybody else who is joining me today in my hobby hangout live stream. We're back. I've got more Bretonnians because I wanted something easy to do, and I need to keep working on these boys because gosh darn it, I'm not going to just buy this box and let it sit around. One of the things I've been trying to do less of this year is try to actually get through things, and while I may be slow as balls when it comes to building things sometimes because, well, frankly, I talk too much, I'm still going to try to get through this. So that's what we're working on today. I'm just grabbing one of my lights real quick because I already feel like it's still kind of like dark. So my bad. I didn't set that up first. But don't worry, it won't take me too long. And hopefully you can hear me and everything just fine without any issues. How is everybody doing today on this lovely Saturday? Is that what they were on? Yes. Honestly, my weekend has been pretty chill so far. Yesterday was really busy. Yesterday was super busy. Mostly because we had editing that we were doing, and then of course I had the stream, and then I had the International Plastic Modeler Society Club meeting, which went really well, which was really cool. I actually brought the Tyranid Hive Tyrant that I printed up in today's video that went out live to showcase to them, to be like, look, I got a 3D printer. Does anybody else have one? And one person actually did. When there was another person who had a 3D printer, and he also was one of the Space Marine people, so I thought that was kind of cool. He has a different printer than I do, but it was cool to talk to him about it and see like some things and just like chat about his Anycube versus my Elegoo. But yeah, it was really cool. Really enjoying it. Hope everybody's doing well. Hello to Michael and Havman and Paul and the Eternal Crusader. Excellent. Okay, so let's go ahead. I think my plan is today is we're going to just like clip out a bunch of boys and then pair them off with accessories, and we'll go from there. I'm going to scoot this up because we don't need to be quite so zoomed in right now. Yeah, that looks good. And probably can just like set my focus down there because that's where the action's going to be happening. So let's go ahead and clip out all these peeps. I think I'm going to end up needing 18 is what I just like was talking about yesterday. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to try to be a little more careful about these guys with the stripy shirts when I clip them out, because last time I realized when I did it, I think I gave myself a little bit of trouble with cleanup. So we're going to see if we can avoid that this time around. Okay, hopefully that'll be better. Do a little bit of light cleanup. Oh, nice. Yeah, the Super Bowl is tomorrow. I keep forgetting, which is funny because the 49ers are, in fact, I believe, going to it. Or will be in it. So cool. Go team! I'm not at all a football person at all. Let me be very clear about that. But I do live in the Bay Area. Therefore, I feel obligated to go 49ers. Because, you know, they're from the Bay. Hello, Gavin. Hello, Chris. Nice. Oh, you got the new Kill Team box set, Chris? That's awesome. I haven't checked it out yet, but it's really cool to see that the Space Marines the Scouts are really cool. Sick. All right, let's also clip out all these shields. So we will be needing all 4 of them. It's gonna be a hefty line of guys with all these like pikes and shields and everything. And then what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to come back to my original sprue. And I'm going to, just clip off the arms that I've not used already, just to add some variety, make sure we get some definite differences, since we will be repeating ourselves a little bit. And I basically want to use everything off of this sprue if I can, before I use stuff off of the new sprue when it comes to like their arms and their accessories. So we'll go ahead and give, let's see, let's go ahead and lay their little bodies out. All nice in a row. Oh, I should also get myself some music going. Michael, I haven't had really much odor at all with the 3D printer. As I mentioned in the video, one of the reasons that I have it upstairs in that room is because it has those big bay windows and I can, or those bay doors, and I can open them up. So, and I always wear a respirator whenever I am opening or closing up the machine, both the washing station as well as the printer itself, to avoid inhaling in any of those harmful chemicals. So I haven't really, in my ventilation really doesn't create a lot of odor. And then when the machine is running, like when it's just like upstairs running or something like that, I have 2 carbon filters in the machine. Like I have the specific ones that they make that plug into the machine itself that Elegoo makes, and those do a great job of just eliminating any odors. So I haven't really found there's been too much of a smell specifically. When honestly, the bigger smell comes more so when I feel like I have the cleaning, like the isopropyl alcohol containers open. That's where I feel like I smell things more often. Because I've occasionally like opened those up without having my mask on, and that definitely stinks. So definitely worth making sure that you have it in a good ventilated space. I don't know what it would be like if I had it in a less ventilated space. Probably worse, but I haven't noticed any smells. All right, allow me to put some music on real quick. Yeah, let's go ahead and listen to that. All right, cool. There we go. Now, go ahead and just like randomly disperse. No, you're there. You have that one. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't give them the same shields, like the bodies the same shields, to add just, again, random amounts of variety. Yeah, we'll give him that one. Actually, I want to do that. There we go. Okay. Nice. And then we'll give you that one, and we'll give you that one. Cool. So this bird is gonna go, I think, with him. I'm gonna give this pouch with a dagger to this guy. We're gonna do the gloved hand, or the glove off the hand, I guess, to this dude. And then we'll give the hat to this guy. Did he previously have a hat? No, he has. Okay, cool. All right. And then that means... Oh, do I not have a dude without a hat on? Do none of these men... Why the hell do you give me that one, then? If you don't give me a guy without a hat? Is there... What the fuck, Games Workshop? Hello, Go For It Painting. Hello, Ryu Arts. I'm doing well today. Hopefully you are as well. Are these all identical? Do all of you have helmets? Oh, well, okay. This accessory piece feels redundant. They all have some form of Oh, I have his focus. Never mind. Because it's got, like, this is a piece that's supposed to go on, like, their waist or something, and it's got somebody's hat. But none of them... I almost dropped it on the floor. They all have hats. So who's supposed to have this? Who's walking around with 2 hats? Who's a men-at-arms? How can they afford 2 hats? They're poor... They're just poor little men-at-arms. They don't have money.
Are you insulting the memory of Two-Hat Timothy, the greatest man-at-arms that Britain ever knew?
Oh.
Legend tells that in the dark of night, when light was lost, darkness of chaos came down. It was by the shining gleam of the lady's light reflecting off a single shining button of Timothy's hat. And so it was, the Knights of Bretonnia were able to guide their lances true and strike. So how dare thee mock Two-Hat Timothy? I will not hear of it in this household.
Do you think this is Timothy's other hat then? Because, like, I have these other hats and I'm trying to figure out who I should give them.
Let me see it.
Because it's like a full-on, like, this kind of hat, right?
Yeah,
This kind of helmet.
Yeah.
And then, but none of them are helmetless.
It's for putting on, like, a horse or something.
What?
You could glue it to the side of, like, a pack mule or something like that.
Okay, well, I guess I'll leave that one off and I'll do a different accessory on somebody. Because it's so weird. Okay, well, then...
Also, it's a helmet. There's a guy wearing a normal hat.
There isn't... That's what I'm saying, is, like, there are... Like, these are the 2 closest guys. It's so strange. Because, like, okay, here's the full heads, right? Here's all of them on the sprue. And all of them have hats.
Also, hello, chat. Well, I don't know what to tell you.
It's so weird. It's just like a weird, like, observation. I wonder if no one's ever probably bitched about this ever before because it doesn't matter. Ow, I just stabbed myself on a plastic feather. Yep. Only I could stab myself on a plastic feather. All right. Oh, thank you. Let's get these other heads off here. Alright, we'll put that one, I think, there. And we'll do... Alright, we'll do that one there. Two hats 3 times, 2 hats 3 times, 2 hats 3 times. Ah, nice, Ryu. You're building some Tau? Excellent. How dare you say Bretonnia is cringe Eternal Crusade. Bretonnia is wonderful. Alright, we have literally one little thing left on this sprue, so I'm going to clip it off and call this sprue done. And just put the excess accessories in my bowl with my Green Knight, actually. Now, that can be recycled. Not thrown away, recycled. Actually, it'll probably... Excuse me, I need to grab this sprue. I need to make some better sprue glue. Talk about a word that's alliterative, that's more difficult to say. Sprue, it's not even alliterative. What am I talking about? Angela, S and G are not the same letter. I had a late night. Sprue goo is hard to say. Quickly, fast. Sprue goo. See, I'm already like slurring it. Maybe that's Thoughtsmith. You might be right. Maybe that's something that I can, like, an accessory I can put on one of the archers. There's also just some like very basic, like peasant, like with swords. Like they're not even men at arms. They're like peasants. So maybe one of them can have it. He will have picked up the hat of one of the men at arms or something. I'm looking for my bottle of sprue goo. I think it's here. Yep, there it is. It had separated a little bit and freaked me out because it looked like some gross stuff, but okay. Let's get some of this clipped up and put into the goo. Probably don't need a huge amount, so this will probably do. Let's cut it into small pieces so it can dissolve better. There we go. All right. Oh, great. Alright, we'll let those ones dissolve and see what the consistency is like. Because basically I want it to be a little gooier. Like this is decent, but it's a little more watery than I want. So I'm hoping that extra injection of plastic will make it goopier. Which I just find will be a little bit easier to probably work with when it comes to actually gap filling. Especially on like GW models, since I'm using GW plastic. Ryu, thank you so much for the $6 donation. You are awesome, sir. Alright, alright. Let's have a sweet herb. Alright. We still need 2 pole arms. So we're just going to clip 2 out. Oh, that's literally the one I'm already using. Well, you know what? That's fine. We're going to have to repeat eventually, so. Alright, everybody has an accessory, everybody has a head. Everybody has 2 arms and a torso. Good. Let's go ahead and start cleaning up the next batch, shall we? Chris, you are absolutely welcome. 3D printing is something that I've been wanting to jump into for a while, but I was really just waiting for the technology to get very plug and play. And I feel like the technology is there. Oh, I never even turned on my light. I'm an idiot. And I plugged it in, but never actually turned it on. I was wondering why it still looked so dark. Why? But yeah, if you have the space and you've got like about $1,000 to drop on it, just to get the printer, I do recommend having never done it without the curing station and wash station. I just think it's a affordable convenience that just makes the whole process a lot easier. So if you can get the whole bundle where you get the printer, a wash station and a cure station, and you have the space where you can properly ventilate it to keep yourself and your family safe, then by all means, like, I actually think it's a pretty worthwhile investment at this point. Like, I think the technology has definitely also gotten to the point where there's so much troubleshooting that you can just do by talking to people online that it's just a lot easier to solve the issues if you do run into a problem. Whereas I think back like 5 years ago when they were still new but still kind of unexplored as much, there was a lot harder to figure out, like, okay, why are my prints failing? Why is this not working for me? Because there's definitely some like variability. Like, for example, I've been looking at comments as people have putting them on that particular video and being like, why possibly did my wing not fit, for example? And what the conclusion that I think I've come to is there's a couple of things that I think could have happened. One of which is actually, I noticed watching the video back this morning when I was breaking the supports off of the wings in one of the scenes when I was talking about the various steps of like, okay, it's printed, so now you got to clean it, break the supports off and then put it in the curing station. I noticed that I actually flexed it pretty hard, and the resin is not fully cured at that point. Like, it's partially cured, but it's not fully cured. So I do wonder if when I did that, like, I still do wonder if the mold line that I had, or that weird line, that seam that I got in that wing, because it is the same wing that had that problem. I wonder if that contributed to it. However, I do wonder if more so why it wasn't fitting was because I accidentally bent it, or like flexed it into a position and then cured it into that position where it was slightly out of whack. I like, without printing like a brand new torso and a brand new wing and not doing that, I guess I can't really test it because I have secured those wings to that body. There is no getting them off without like just breaking it at this point. But it's something to test, like reprinting it and trying it again. And thankfully, because it's not like super expensive to do so, now that I have the thing, I can't just keep printing it until I'm super, super, super satisfied. Although I'm perfectly happy with the one that I've crafted. Like, even with the green stuff that I had to do, it just makes it a little bit more mine, a little bit more unique. So, while yeah, I had a little bit of a failure, I'm not gonna let it discourage me. Definitely not. You know, I haven't considered printing clone troopers for the Legion. I haven't even actually considered any, like, Lego printing, actually, using the printer. The main things that I've been considering so far has been, obviously, alternates for Games Workshop products. Also, terrain. I really want to... I know there's a lot of cool, big terrain pieces out there that I want to explore. I love painting and dealing with terrain. And then add-ons for my tanks and such. Also, busts. I want to paint and print up some busts to paint. Like, that, I think that would be really cool. Because, like, I really enjoyed when I painted up the Cromlech resin bust that they sent me of the orc, like, pirate guy. And I would love to do other things like that. And I do see that a lot of bundles, for example, will, like, have miniatures. But then there will be, like, a couple of busts of some of the fancier characters, like the hero characters or villain characters within those sets. Like, I think Loot Crate does that, for example. Or is that what it's called? I don't remember. It's Loot something. Loot Box, maybe? I don't remember. But yeah, it's interesting stuff like that. Oh, sorry, I have a Legion. I have a Star Wars Legion in Lego for my clone army building. So I apologize. That was me just misunderstanding. I get what you're saying. You know, I hadn't considered printing up any Star Wars characters, but yeah, that could be pretty cool. Like, just mass producing a bunch of clones and doing like a full, like an actual miniature version of a clone army. That would be pretty rad, actually. Because I bet there's some pretty neat sculpts of some of the hero clones too, like Rex and like Cody, and honestly some probably just good alternate Anakins or Obi-Wans or Ahsokas even. That'd be cool. Yeah, I'm not so much interested in scanning the sprues specifically, although, like, I mean, that's an interesting concept. I really like just seeing what the artists are kind of creating rather than just copying, say, what Games Workshop's doing, or, you know, Atomic Mass or whoever I'd be duplicating the sprues of. I guess if I really wanted it to be, like, competitive and being able to be in tournaments, maybe that'd be super valuable to me, but nah. I guess maybe if it's a unit that I have to really mass produce, maybe Guardsmen. Maybe I should scan some Guardsman sprues, and that's what I'll do. Alright, that is looking pretty good. I was trying to just be extra mindful of the seam line on the polearm because it's a little intense. It's a little intense. That would be pretty cool. I'm sure you can probably find some on eBay and then do exactly what's described as like 3D scan them if you really wanted to. There we go. That's cleaned up. And this side. There we go. I feel like I want to smooth the flat side because it looks a little uneven. Especially since I want to do some like freehand patterns on them or something later on. That'd be so cool. I have no idea what I plan on doing for all the emblems or how much detail I'm actually going to end up doing with like just the peasants. They may just get patterns or something. But even then, I think that'd be kind of fun. I've never really tried doing, like, specific patterns. I think I've just done, like, split colors, generally, for most of my shields and stuff. Alright, those two pieces are clean. Let's go ahead and work on his head now. We've got this great big old mold line, right? Right there on top of his puny little head. I don't know what size bases the Bretonnians are on. Hold on. Let me check. Well... So tell me what they are in here. Now that would be convenient and useful. Although that does feel nice, that vellum of this page. I don't know. I never remember what the base size is, because like Warhammer, unlike historical models, don't use the same scale. Like, for example, technically, and because I looked this up last night, I believe that Warhammer models, if you were to say them a la historical model scalings, like numbers, they're 1/60th scale, I believe. But I don't know if that is like 100% accurate. Whereas like my tanks, for example, are 1/48th, I believe, and the Joy Toy action figures that I use are 1/18th. So lots of different scales. Normally, yeah, I think Gavin might be right. I think they're 25. Like, here's the bases. The problem is that they don't put the actual base, like, size on here. But, like, this is, you know, there's a single base that the just, like, infantry are on. And then, of course, the knights are on the slightly longer ones. But they have upped them from what they were previously. And I don't know if it's 25, I don't know if it's 28, or if it's 32. It's one of those three. I don't know which. Most likely, I would say probably the 28, actually, if I had to make a guess. But I think Primaris Marines are 32-inch bases. Unless they've gone up to 35. I don't know. So, I don't know. Oh, sorry. You're probably right. They probably are 135th. I couldn't remember if it was like 138th, 135th, whatever I said. Or 148th. I don't even... Where's... Yes, you're right. 135th. Marquee? Yes. 135th. Sorry about that. I did misspeak there. But, yeah, it's... 40k is not done in that kind of scale. They base it off of their base size, and they're constantly changing it, and I don't actually... And I think they lie about them half the time, if I'm honest. And it doesn't help that, say, like, the Trebuchet guys are technically on bases that are far too small for them, I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm pretty sure they have been upped to this size base, but they're actually on a base that's, like, you know, comes into, like, there. It's, like, half the size. Every time. It really just... It so bothers me that they put, like, a mold line directly through where they know they're gonna put, like, a little tiny rivet. So that it just, like, sticks up weird and you end up possibly losing your rivet because you're trying to get the mold line off of it. Alright, that looks good, though. I think he's fine. I don't think I've ever worked on anything that's smaller scale than the Warhammer figures. Because I've never done... oh, I guess you're talking about the Flames of War stuff, because that's super tiny. Gotcha. Or at least that's what I'm assuming. Because, like, the... anything that I've done for Warhammer, even if it's the big stuff versus the small stuff, they're all technically the same scale to each other. It's just they're, you know, one's a monster, and the others are human. That would be pretty cool. Did I completely die? Okay. That would be really cool, DRLS word, if, Total War ended up adding in some new Bretonnian models to... Or, sorry, if, Creative Assembly ended up adding in some new Bretonnian models to Total War. I almost said that backwards. Yes, Total War will add Bretonnians to Creative Assembly. Not the way it works. I think World of Flames of War is closer to epic scale, because all the figures are super tiny. I have them sitting over there ready. I need to finish painting them, but I've been trying to... I want to build up all the Bretonnians first, and then like move on to a painting binge. Although I might end up working on the Flames of War guys soon, because I am going to be building my next tank soon, so that will be fun. I think the last thing we need to clean up on this guy is his shoulders. I did leave a little bit of sprue on there to try to Maybe do this a little easier. Sometimes when they're on the actual, like, full sprue itself, I overclip and I damage some parts of the model that I don't want to. So I'm trying to avoid that. I think I did okay this time. It has a little bit of a... Not a misprint, but you know, like when you have like a raised edge a little bit on some plastic toys where they didn't clean up, like they really just left a lot of basically flack on there. His collar had that a little bit. Just assume it's part of the casting process. Or whatever printing process they do for these, I don't actually know. Oh, really? That would be cool. You know, it would make sense that they might want to add some new stuff in there. It's just, it's so weird, though, because this is supposed to be set way before when Creative Assembly's Total War is set. Maybe they're retconning some things. I mean, who cares? They just want to add new content in. And Bretonnia hasn't, I assume, gotten a very big update in a while, right? Like, when was the last time that Bretonnia saw an update in Total War? I haven't actually played in so... Basically, when 3 came out, I played it for a little while, but I was not super thrilled by it. And I kind of stopped playing for a long time. I haven't actually touched a Total War in a little while. I should go back and test it out, because I haven't seen what any, like, the changes or updates they've done to 3 is. And I haven't seen what they've done, continue to do with 2, if anything. Yeah, unfortunately, like, both Total War and Darktide kind of left me wanting with when their games came out. Disappointing. Because, like, Darktide I played, I really enjoyed until I got to level 30, and then I was like, okay, well, but, like, what do I do now? I don't really... What's going on here? And nothing... I didn't feel like there was anything to do. Why do you have a thing there and no one else does? Is it just supposed to be a separate bag? Maybe it is. Is Jack-a-Lack out? Yep. Yay! Maybe he realized there was sun. Is it? Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I haven't touched it in a while, so... gosh, I can't even remember the last expansion or, like, update that I remember them doing, but it was one of the early ones. Not, like, the super, super early ones. Like, I did give it some time, but... I don't know, it just didn't have the same pull that 2 did for me. Ooh, some new cool Zinch units? That's cool. Good to know. I'm really glad that they're still, like, plugging away on it. and improving it. Or improving the you know, player's experience with it. I may need to step away and feed my cat, depending on how meowy he gets. I did just hear him cry out to be like, I am hungry. Or at least that's my assumption. Maybe he just wants attention, I don't know. Ooh, Nurgle Empire and Dwarf DLC in April, you said? Very cool. I wonder what they're gonna end up doing for their April Fools. Very, very nice. Alright, let's get this last side of mold lines removed, and then we can move on to the next guy and continue the process. It's entirely possible. You could be very greedy like that, you're right. I think we're looking good. He is cleaned up. Let's move on to the next boy. Ooh, Dogs of War going into the game would be cool. Wait, they're bringing the Monkey King into Total War Warhammer? Like via the Cathay? That I have to see. I want to see what Games Workshop's version of Sun Wukong is. Because I'm not gonna lie, I don't think anything's gonna beat Lego's version. Oh man, these hats are such a pain. Hey, Mercurian. The knights are going well. I'm working on, actually mostly the men-at-arms right now, so the lowly peasants. But the progress is being made. Has it? I haven't actually been following too much ever since, pretty much I've followed it. Like, I know that, what was it? Was it this week, I guess? I guess maybe I have been following it. Just a little, like, I also try not to think about it because it makes me so upset right now. I know that Cody has said that he's going after Roman, but that The Rock is also fighting Roman, but they haven't actually, like, officially announced a triple threat or anything, so.
Cody versus Roman.
They've announced Cody versus Roman. Okay, but didn't they also... but didn't they also officially confirm, like, Rock versus Roman?
No.
Ah, okay. Interesting. I could end up being a triple threat. I mean, I guess I could save Roman and Rock, but that just seems stupid at this point, especially if they're gonna end up having Cody actually win it. Maybe. Who knows? I don't even know if I care at this point who takes it off Roman, because I don't know if I, like, that belt has been doing nothing for so long. It feels like an eternity. Like, I genuinely am like, when was the last time that, like, that belt was defended and not cheatedly, like retained? Because I feel like Roman is always just having somebody, like, interrupt or, like, distract and ending up winning. And that's been going on for... Has it actually been, like, 3 years?
Yeah.
Good fucking lord. 3 years. That... You know, it loses its meaning after a while. And I don't care anymore. I think that's like genuinely thinking about it like that, over 1,000 days, it's done nothing. It is done... This belt has done nothing. I really feel that pro wrestling is in a place where I'm not exactly sure what they're doing storyline-wise, because they haven't figured out fully how to, like, explore new avenues with their pro wrestlers, because they've gotten so big. So there's a certain expectation, but they can't actually meet those expectations because the expectations are from when they were a lot smaller. And it's a weird place to watch them be in. Like, genuinely. Very weird place. Oh my gosh. Thoughtsmith, that would be hilarious. I would love that sequence of events. Of The Rock takes it off Roman in night 1. In night 2, Cody takes it off of The Rock. And then Damian Priest comes down and successfully cashes in. And then it just, like, everybody explodes. That would be wild. What a Damian Priest push. Could you imagine? Like, that'd be crazy. I would honestly, I'd be entertained. It would be unexpected. I'd be like, wow, okay. Great. Let's go. Let's see what he's gonna do. Thank you for subscribing, Jason Weber. Yeah, I think that's... I genuinely don't know who, like, outside of Vince and, like, the experiment and everything, like, I don't know who they were maintaining that for at this point. Like, Because I don't know who's actually that entertained. Like, don't get me wrong. Bloodline has had some stuff that's happened in the last, like, year that has been entertaining. I liked the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso stuff. They just botched it. And then continued it on again. And then they started to do stuff with Cody and making it look like that was going to end it too. And then they botched it. And now it's just going on. Like, that's the problem, is they just keep... It's kind of like Taker with needing, like, to have his streak end in a certain way. They just keep going and going and going. And then, like, pushing it too far. And then the next thing you know, Taker's retired, like, 4 times. I think I'm just bitter because, like, one of my favorite, and this is probably, like, an unpopular opinion or controversial opinion, but, like, some of my favorite pro wrestling, and in regards to it just being entertaining and feeling like I was really getting to know the wrestlers and feel the most invested in those wrestlers because of it, was during the COVID era, specifically in AEW. And then I guess the other time would be in the original Black and Gold era of NXT, because they gave us so much realistic backstage stuff that made you feel more invested in what was going on with those people, because you would see them get attacked in the dreaded parking lot at Full Sail, because that was like a danger zone for like years in Black and Gold NXT, and it became like a narrative thing, and it was just like, it was so much more entertaining because they were actually allowed to like use the spaces they were in and also acknowledge that they were wrestlers sometimes. I don't know, things are so weird right now, and I don't always like it. Yeah, no, I agree. There's probably plenty of times where Taker could have retired prior to him retiring, and then retiring, and then retiring, and then retiring. Alright, that's looking pretty decent, actually. Alright, so I'm feeling good about that. Let's get his little accessory and then his weapon, because those will be easier and take a little bit less time than his body, which is gonna be covered entirely in mold lines. Both companies also keep having the problem where a lot of their storylines completely, like these really good storylines that they put a lot of time and energy into, get fucked over by somebody getting injured. Which I know is no one's like fault specifically usually. Like, I'm not blaming anybody for getting hurt or whatever, because like that's often out of their control and completely an accident. But like, good lord, you would think at this point, pivoting or planning for needing to pivot potentially when you have such mainstream storylines, like big major plots in your narrative, you would think that they would plan a bit better for needing to pivot, and I feel like they never do. It always feels like a scramble, and it's like, how do you not keep expecting this to happen, especially when you are bringing in wrestlers who were retired for 10 years maybe and haven't done this in a while and have a history of being injured? Think about that. Maybe plan. Like, oh god, it's so dumb. Sorry for the wrestling rant. The reason I'm so upset about it is because I think wrestling is a very cool form of entertainment. Like, it has so much authenticity to it. There is so much just that goes into it, both on a behind the stage editing, scripting, etc. side, as well in production side, as well as just being, holy shit, look at these people do these fantastic things with their bodies. And while also basically giving me a like play in regards to narrative that can sometimes happen. And this goes back to especially my love of like gold and black NXT. Like, some of the stories that they told in that era of NXT were golden. And it's brilliant. Like, it's some really just genuinely heartwarming, like, amazing storylines that you see progress through over time in a very organic and natural way. Because while, yes, it is scripted, it's also still, they're humans and they are performers. And it is still off the cuff a lot of times, to some level. So, like, and they have to be adaptable within the ring in case a mistake happens or whatever. And a lot of them were. And so, like, they could make things, like, work even if botches happened or even if things went perfectly. Like, it's just, like, they've choreographed and the level of skill to be able to be telling that kind of story while also physically exerting yourself is astounding to me. And so when they go into these dips of where I just feel like everything is being sort of suffocated by just bullshit, it's just very upsetting, you know? You know what? That's true. And if Drew comes in and does something cool and like they turn it, like they flip it over like that, that'd be great. Also, Tarantula Hollow, welcome. Oh, it's definitely performance art. Like, wrestling is a weird combination of, like, of a bunch of, like, gym junkie theater kids. Like, that's what wrestling is to me. Like, wrestling is a bunch of theater kids who were like, oh my god, the gym, yes! And then they just, like, rip off their shirts and start working out. Like, that's the kind of theater kids that they are. Also, could you? I want that to be like in a high school or something, like one of the groups. I don't know if like, I have no idea if kids even segregate like that into like those kinds of like goth and prep and popular or whatever anymore, like they did in the 90s and stuff when I was in high school. But like, I need that to be one of them. I need it to be the super buff theater kids. And they're all just pro wrestler wannabes. Or future pro wrestlers. Not even wannabes specifically, but like, just future pro wrestlers. Really? That's so cool. I would not want to run into Pac in real life. Like, I mean, he does seem like a massive dork, but like, he's also the rippest dork I've ever like seen. And it's a little terrifying. I would be like, how do I approach this relatively short but very strong and like beefy man? Alright, this is one of the shirts where I want to be a little extra careful with removing our sprue bits. Okay, I think that worked pretty well. Let's do the other side. Oh, I may have dug in a little too hard there. Oh, actually, no. I think I just left more of the sprue on than I thought I did. Okay, cool. Man, your outfit is so problematic, dude. Go. Got it. There we go. It was like a little tiny bit that was just sticking in there. Hey Josh, welcome. Sprues are crunchy, you're not wrong. I mean, did it help with the UFC that Punk did martial arts in the past? Did it actually help him? Sorry, I am not a Punk fan, so like his time in UFC is not something that I would actively want to bring up when trying to like positively talk about his career, because I just feel like that was a flop like effort on his part. Because I don't think he won any of his matches that he was in, and then he was like out injured for a while, kind of like what's happening now again. It happened in AEW again, and happened back in the day. Because like again, the man is just injury prone, seemingly. Hello, Colin, welcome. Oh no, Josh, what did you end up picking up from Games Workshop that made your wallet so tired? Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, it really, like, I bring it up as a ha 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 ha, let's laugh at CM Punk because he failed, sort of reason, rather than a positive thing as part of his career, because, like, that was not a good look for him. It was not, UFC was not a good look for him. It's really sad, too, because I want to like CM Punk. I think he's a very good talker. Like, he can definitely make people feel things when he's going into his promos and such. Like, I thought the promo he did against Cody, like that he and Cody had against each other before, you know, he got injured, was very good. And I was really looking forward to actually seeing the two of them go, because Cody, I think, could do most of the work in that match. I think he'd probably honestly be happy to, because he kind of seems like he likes to just hurt himself a little bit, or push himself too hard. And Punk could have, I think, had a little bit of an easier time, maybe not gone as hard, and therefore maybe not have gotten injured. But then he just, like, he came in at number, like, 3 or whatever it was, it's in the Rumble, and still somehow hurt himself accidentally. And I'm just like, how does this happen? What are you doing? Like, maybe you should stop. Maybe you should take this as a sign that you should just, I don't know, be on commentary. I don't know. You're a great talker. Stick to that, and maybe... I think the ring is trying to get you to go. Like every time you step into it, I just feel like you are approaching it because you throw yourself into the fucking crowd. Like what he did in AEW, good lord. But like, how? How does one, like, do that? It's astounding to me. As one klutz to another, CM Punk. Maybe take it as a sign. I just want him to be safe, man. I just don't want him to go in and, like, really permanently injure himself or something. Like, he's got nothing to prove, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But I get it. Like, there's a certain attitude, I think, of, like, his generation especially, of wrestlers has, of they... I suspect, and this is just me guessing, right? But I suspect they may feel a bit shafted in not getting to experience the same power that Hulk Hogan may have had when it came to creative control, dictating what was happening in stuff like the war and him going to WCW and all of the politicking and all of that happened. And that is, but by achieving that somehow, they think they'll, like, hit that level or something. And it's just like this weird, I feel like there is this weird goalpost that a certain era of wrestlers chases that I don't know if the fans really care about, but they seem to care about. And I'm not necessarily, like, knocking that they care about it, but it does seem unnecessary to chase because the industry is so different. There are other ways to be dominant within the pro wrestling scene that doesn't require that level of, like, control, I guess. You know what I mean? He does in fact look closer to 90 than 74. I will agree with you there. Ric Flair does. But yeah, no, I don't think he's quite in his 90s. For all we know, he's actually 200 and he's just a necromancer, like, let's be honest. But no, that's way too cool for him. Let's also he's not a necromancer. Or maybe he's also not a lich. That's also too cool for him. He just looks 90. It's all the brain damage that might also be contributing to that. That feeling of him, his age. Like a raisin in spandex. Exactly. Exactly. You know, I have not read any of the... I've read some 40k novels, but I've not actually read any Old World or AOS novels. Mostly because I'm not a big reader at this point, and because I don't have time. And I cannot listen to... I have tried on numerous occasions to listen to audiobooks. Like, especially when, like, building or painting or something like that as, like, a thing. But it is... I lose focus so frequently, to the point where I have to, like, rewind the audiobook, and then I'll end up re-listening to the same thing, like, way more times than, honestly, it's too embarrassing to say. So I have not read a lot of those. Interesting, okay. What kind of story is it? Like, is it an action adventure? Is it a political drama? Would you say it's more of a war flick? Or a war book? My cat is so hungry. Jackalack, are you just sitting there meowing at me? I can't see you. Where are you? Jackalack. If you come here and say hi, I'll feed you. Maybe if I tempt him. I have no idea if he's like sitting just out of sight or if he's in the other room with my partner. Alright, I think we're almost finished. We just need to even out his shoes. So he's got some flat feet to stand on. Jackalack! Come here! Mr. Weinmeister, hello? Are you gonna say hi? He's like, no. No, actually, I'm not. Oh, I see the shadow of the boy. Okay, very cool. Ah, very cool, very cool. Action adventure with female knights? Nice! That's cool! Very, very cool. This feels very... I didn't know they did female knights in Bretonnia.
Of course.
But, like, I thought the knights were always the maidens. Like, the casters. Or, sorry, I thought the women were always the casters in Bretonnia.
I mean, the casters are always women, is what you mean to say. Not that all women are casters.
No, every single female in Bretonnia must be a caster.
Okay.
I'm kidding. But so they do have lady knights.
They got Joan of Arc. Remember, they even have that like leader lady of one of their factions in Total War.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah. You're right.
I think they're about as common as, like,
Okay.
Imperial Guard, which is, say, half of them.
Oh, okay. I feel like I've never really gotten an indication that any of the, like...
narrative ones?
That any of these were meant to be women.
So are you finally... So wait, what I'm hearing is...
Like,
Games Workshop finally made gender-neutral armor for some heavily armored warriors, and you're complaining because they don't have boob armor.
no, I am just...
You wish they had voluptuous hips and curvaceous buttocks?
No, I've just never actually heard them, like, imply that they are...
Great tracts of land.
Yeah, I want them to have tits, okay? I need them to have tits to identify them as, like, lady knights, okay? That's what I need. Is that what you want me to say? Is that what you're asking for? Did you go upstairs and get yourself a Pepsi and not get me a soda?
I'll go get you a soda.
I love you, thank you. Hello! The boy has arrived, everybody! He says hello. He says, I don't want to be here. Mother, why are you put me down? Oh, Josh, enjoy your supper. Hope you have a good meal. Oh, okay. So they've really expanded that. Nice. He does not want to be here. Mike the coldest. Yes. Don't worry, I am.
You requested a soda, madame.
That is not the correct thing. I am not touching that. That is disgusting. Get it out of my face. Look, even the boy is disgusted.
There you go.
He's like, Father, that's gross. Here, take, don't, that's not at all. Okay, I'm gonna go feed my cat real quick and get myself a Mountain Dew, which is what I drink, and he fucking knows that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're right. So I'll be right back, guys. Let me go feed my little whiny boy. Meow. Meow. I'll see you in a bit. Hello, I am back. Also, he had brought one down for me. He just hid it because he's a dork. But here it is. Yay! All right, let's keep cleaning. Oh, let's also check on our sprue glue. Now where are things melted? They appear to be melted. They appear to not be melted. Look, there they are. There they all are. They're partially melted. Could you imagine if I hadn't had that sealed all the way and it just like onto my desk? I would be so upset. Hello, Team Warrior Painting. How are you doing today, sir? No problem about missing the start of the stream. It's not a problem. Oh, you've been working on some Fire Slayers. You have a Go Truck. Nice. Very, very cool. Not bad. Not a bad turnaround time. About four or 5 hours. All right, there we go. Those are working. Those are doing its thing. I mixed it up a little bit. Let's keep going. Of course I do. I'm a demonette after all. Oh, sweet. I will check that out after the stream. That sounds awesome. You know what? Screw it. We're going to look at it right now. Why not? Why not? Let's see. That one. Oh, man. Look at that. Look at that! Look how good look how good he is! Oh, I love the hair. Really, really nice job. Let's see, what else do we have recently finished? Oh, and here's Go Trek! Dude. Very nice, very nice. Love what you did with the flesh tone. Very handsome. Let's see, I think there was a second picture, right? Yeah, let's look at the back of him. Wow, nice. I do love the little Skaven guys in the base. The hair is beautiful. Love the gold on the armor, too. Nice. Let's check out some of the other things people have recently showed off. Ooh. Got a nice He-Man. That looks awesome. Sick. Oh, a Tzeentch Demon. Look at those cool tufts there, too. I love the colors. I love what I get to see basically on my Discord is what I'm trying to get at. So if you are interested in that, become a Patreon member. Oh my gosh, but seriously, I do love seeing what you guys are putting out there and love what you did with Go Trek. He looks awesome. He looks awesome. You know, is Go Trek's alive in Age of Sigmar, right? That's why he's around still, is because he actually exists there. Felix isn't though, right? That's why he's solo. Because okay, is that the case? Is Felix?
Go Trek survived. I do not believe Felix did.
Got it. It's weird because like he's a named character from the old world. And now we have the new old world, but he's not gonna be, like, he's not alive yet.
Correct.
Which is weird. That's so weird.
Or if he is, he hasn't been shamed yet.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Maybe we'll meet Go Trek before he's shamed. I am curious, like, long-term, GW's plan with the old world, narratively, like, speaking, because... like, where are they going to get us to, is where I'm wondering. Like, are we eventually going to see the arrival of the Elector Counts, and the Vampire Counts, and the rise of the Lizard Men, and all these other, like, factions that are currently trapped in AOS land? Or, like... Or are we just gonna stick with what we have and just have weird rules for vampire counts, but not have them actually, like, fit perfectly, like, narratively wise? I really don't know. Like, I really, really don't know. I think, hold on, I'm gonna adjust my lighting in the behind me because it's gotten really bright. And I'm gonna see if I flip it. Is that a little bit better? I don't know if that's actually any different, but to me it feels different. See, that's my problem, is like everybody in AOS is a god now, though. Like, even like the basic people seem like they're just all, like, everybody's so superhuman. Everybody's so main character. I don't want everybody to be a main character. I want there to be people like me who aren't main characters, who just are doing their thing. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I'm just a nostalgic old grumpy lady. Even though I never actually played any Old World. But gosh darn it, am I gonna wave that flag around. Oh, I am definitely not, but I appreciate you saying that, Colin. Go. He is now also cleaned up. Next. Oh wow, I've really worn into that, haven't I? I hadn't realized. Oh, the section of the sanding sponge that I was using. Nothing like bad. The table, I've been grinding into it. That nice and roughed up, since that's a connection point for when we assemble. Alright, let's gently remove the mold line on this rounded helmet. Alright. Tiny file. I think it's very worthwhile if you guys can get one to have one of these like rounded jeweler's files, because it just really works well with getting certain like sections where there's mold lines. It's one of my most used, that's why it looks so abused, because it's one of my most used ones. Because it just has, it's very useful. It's also got a really nice tip on it, which is also good, because it is serrated the whole way down, so you can gently like grind out some areas that way too. Well, Colin, I hope you enjoy your shower, and also that you get your phoenix finished. I bet that will look cool when you're done. Big phoenix would be fun to paint up. That does sound awesome. Alright, clean that already. Let's get his weapon. My hope is that with all these guys like cleaned up, I can just kind of really quick go through and start gluing things down and just alternating between all 4 of them, and we can actually finish all 4 of these before the end of the stream, and that will have progressed us. And I'm cool with that progression. That's a fine, worthwhile progression, I think, for how chatty I can be. There we go. It's looking good. Tuesday will probably end up being, it will still have a hobby stream, as it is Tuesday, and that's just what we do. But I might be working on a tank. It depends on like how far I get. But you might get a little bit of a behind the scenes work on the next video, potentially. And if not, I might take a break from the these boys and work on one of the Pegasus Knights, because I kind of want to see what that assembly is like. Hakan, welcome and good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. And there's a mold line on the arm that I need to get off. Okay, the knuckles a little bit. Oh my god, speaking of Knuckles, have you guys seen the trailer for the new Knuckles movie? I'm actually very excited. I think it looks fun. I've not watched any other Sonic movies, even though I've heard good things about them. But I might go see the Knuckles ones with a Chaos Cultist. It might be one we have to finally, like, dive our heads into. Alright, there we go. 2 more little things. The little burb. You know, this bird has a head cover. I don't know if it's meant to be food or if this is like a carrier pigeon or something. It's weird because it's like, I don't know what the round things on top of it are. I'll show you in a close-up in a second after I clean up the mold line on it. But like, is it meant to be grapes? Pellets, maybe? So, I've got this bird And he looks like he's got like a covering on him. Like he looks like he's got a head covering, something on his wing, covering his wing, and then he's got like grapes or something? What is that? I've heard, like, Jim Carrey did look amazing in those movies. Like, I remember seeing his Robotnik and going, wow, I'm impressed. But I also, like, I'm a fan of Jim Carrey's. Like, I like a lot of the movies that he's done. As goofy as they are, I did enjoy the first Mask, and I think the Son of the Mask. I think they were both kind of silly, but, like, I enjoyed them in a goof sort of way. And then loved Liar Liar. Like, Liar Liar is one of my favorite movies. And I've liked a lot of other things that he's done too, because I know he's done some like serious things and he's done other comedy. I did like stop going and seeing some of his comedy after a while because I felt it got a little redundant, or like he was kind of typecast a little bit. But you know, that's kind of just happens sometimes to certain actors. But yeah, like seeing him in Sonic was, or seeing that he was in Sonic was wild, because I thought I did a really good job. Also, thank you, Happen, for the $5 donation. You are very much appreciated, sir. He is a very good actor. All right. Let's get this guy cleaned up if we can kind of fast so that we don't run out of time. Because I would like that goal of getting all 4 of these starting to be assembled or fully assembled before we end to be a thing. Okay, it's working. Okay, that looks good. Let's get this arm. And then we need to clean up these shoulders. Oh, I just accidentally clipped off one of the things I was specifically trying not to. Oopsie daisy. Oh well. It's fine, we'll just even it out. Even out and make it look intentional. I don't know who the villain specifically is in the new one. I know he worked for Robotnik, but I don't know like the character name because I'm not super familiar with some of like the secondary characters in Sonic. Oh, his assistant guy? That's an interesting. Sorry. Chaos Cultist is saying that he thinks that it could be a modern Snively in the new Knuckles trailer, which, if I remember correctly, like Snively in at least the cartoons, as far as I remember, was like a short, bald man who was sort of like not really that brave. He definitely was a hulking like dude, like what we see in the trailer. But you're right, he is very smart, so, but this could be just a modern take on him, and going, like, with, like, a beefy, like, nerd boy. And that would be, oh, it's Agent Stone? Is that a character, like, specific to the movies, or is that a character... Do you know Agent Stone? Okay, I wonder if that's a character specific to the movies. Okay, so he's a movie character. Got it. The reason I was messing with that is I thought about using the sprue glue to recreate the things that I accidentally clipped off. But I might just pull some green stuff out and do that in a bit. There we go. I think that's looking pretty decent. One thing we need to do is in between the legs a little bit. And my feet. Okay, there we go. Let's do the last guy. Alright, that's done. Oh, he has one of the annoying helmets. Alright, well, let's do that second to last. So many of the things that this last guy has on him is riveted. And so it's being a pain to clean. Curses, no! Okay, I think that'll work. That's done. Let's get the pole arm flying through this. Oh yeah, I haven't gone to a movie in theaters like since the Barbie movie, I think. We did try the other day actually. We lost power for a little bit because we had like a lot of rain and it took out the power, and we ended up going to the mall and we tried to go see a movie, but unfortunately when we stopped in, like, we were right in between everything. And so there wasn't anything, like, happening within the next, like, 30 minutes or so. It was all an hour or so out, and we didn't want to wait that long because we assumed by then the power would probably be back, and we had other things that we wanted to do that day, so Didn't end up happening, but we tried. We tried. Almost went and saw the, yeah, the Von... Well, I was trying to think of the actual name of the movie, but yeah, the Von Erich movie. That I can't remember the name of the actual film. What was it? Ironclaw, thank you. Yeah, we almost went and saw Ironclaw, which would have been cool. But, again, like I said, there wasn't any times quite close enough to when we were there. And when we knew we would be there still. So, oh well. Okay, I've been watching a lot of anime instead. It's been fun. Alright. Instead of that little edge there. There we go. Alright. Head and body, and then we can start glue. We can glue some stuff. Okay, at least his helmet doesn't have just the little, like, rivet, or the little, yeah, I guess rivets are the correct thing. This at least has this one has lines. It's a little easier to deal with. I was more worried than I guess I should have been. Isn't Iron Brew a beer? Do they make diet? I guess they do make diet beers, don't they? That was a dumb question. Never mind. Ignore that question. Enjoy, I guess? I don't know. Diet sodas to me taste gross, so I can only imagine what a diet beer must taste like. Which I don't even like the taste of beer to begin with, so I can only imagine. The last one you went and saw was the Godzilla vs. King Kong? The last movie you went to was in 2012? My goodness. Man, that's been a while. I don't think that's not a while. That's like a decade. I mean, don't get me wrong, movies are like stupid expensive now, so I don't blame you for maybe not like going to many, but man, when you said a while, I thought you were gonna say like a year. Alright. Last but not least, his very annoying outfit. Okay, we won't get them built today, but we'll get them at least finished, cleaned up. Which means I can build... Well, I'll probably still get them built today, but we won't get them built on stream. Get out of here, you bastard. Alright, there we go. That's looking good. I think I got the annoying part, which is the skirt. Okay, that's almost complete. That side's almost complete as well. Alright. Smooth my marks down a little bit. Hello, Tony! Welcome! Oh, it's a soda? Okay, for some reason I thought it was a beer. I don't know why. Maybe because it's called Iron Brew, and so I just assumed brew is in, like... So is it more like a root beer type soda, then? Is it, like, meant to... I've never had Iron Brew, so I'm not sure. I've watched people drink it, though. I thought, like, Maybe I was watching them drink a different thing. Maybe it was just soda and I just misremembered it. I didn't realize it was a... Also, apparently it works well as a hangover cure. Okay, fair enough. I'll keep that in mind. Is it predominantly... Because it's a, like, UK and, like, British Isles produced drink, right? It was made to stop shipbuilders from getting drunken at lunch and falling off the scaffolds? Oh, okay, fair enough. So does that mean it does have a little bit of a beer-ish flavor, but without the alcohol? I also don't like wines. I am not a big alcohol drinker. Like, I will drink some, and most of my preferred stuff is either hard liquor or mixed drinks. Like, I like a good fruity pina colada is one of my favorites. But really, just like any sort of fruity mixed drink, I tend to lean towards, unless it's just like a fruit that I'm really not a fan of. But basically, anything where I don't really taste the alcohol as much is the ones that I like more. All right, cool. He is done. Which means that we have all 4 of them all cleaned up now. I'll probably build them up a little bit later. But we're going to go ahead and end the stream here for a second. Or in a little bit. A White Russian for you? Nice. Wait, so Iron Brew is an orange soda? So it's like a candy flavor? Interesting. Interesting. Well, the next time that I'm like in an area that sells it, maybe I'll have to try it. Because orange soda, I like Fanta, which does orange sodas and stuff, so I'm not opposed to that. Very cool. All right, well, with that discussion of beverages, I hope those of you that can partake of them, it's the proper hour for it. Enjoy yourselves. I'm going to go ahead and wrap today's stream up and probably build these guys off camera. Thankfully, we only need to put like one arm on. The shield arms are gonna stay off, although I do want to make sure I don't get them all mixed up or anything like that. But we made some decent progress today, so thank you guys for hanging out with me while I'm working on the Bretonnians. I think we had some good conversations. If you haven't already, please do make sure to go watch the 3D printing video that I released today. If you've ever been interested in 3D printing yourself, or you're just wanting to see somebody's new experience with it, that's pretty much what the video is all about and geared towards, so please do check it out. And in the meantime, I will see you guys on Tuesday for another hobby live stream. And don't forget that this coming weekend, so this next Friday and Saturday, we will likely not be having any live streams those days because I will be probably at DungeonCon. Definitely on Friday. Saturday, I do have some other plans with friends, but I may also end up being there that day too. Who knows? But it's going to be a very busy weekend for me, so you probably won't see me live on any of the social media platforms or anything like that. But we'll be back to our regular content the following week. And it's not like you aren't going to get some live streams this week as well. Anyways, I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you later. Bye.